Okay, this is a video response to Black History Jamaica in depth. The video is done by African Symbol. I don't have any disagreements because that's why I grew up hearing Jamaican history. And it's just my little correction is just that Cromonte is not a tribe per se, is the name of a place. The actual name of the place is Cromonte, and the British distorted it as Coromantee, and that's what was said to mean the Akan. Because the British never know about no Akan at this time, so that's Coromantee to mean Akan. And Akan mean Ashanti, it mean Fanti, it mean Achim, it mean Kwamu, Akwamu and Kwahu, and Bono, etc. So that's Akan. We're not going to say Coromantee, right? We're going to say Akan instead. Alright. Another thing is for understand that the slave trade this is not, no, that part done now. The real rebuttal, that done. This is another thing now. About the slave, you have to understand that it's not Africans that sell Africans as the popular stereotype is, but more of sell or be sold, which the Ashanti sold the most Africans. The Ashanti sold the most Akan, and themselves included. So that they ended up in Jamaica. While the Fanti now, they were the middlemen. They would take the slaves from the Ashanti to the Cap Chain, and the middlemen actually sell them to the white man. I mean the Fanti sell them to the white man. Of course, the white man capture some Fanti and whatnot. However, this is not for the Fanti now. Them was more them did consider to be friendly to European. Them they love the European. Often formed alliances with the European in later times to fight the Ashantis. Alright, who actually was really against the Europeans in Jamaica and in Ghana. Now to Jamaica, where these Akan were shipped, the warrior class of the Ashanti went on to become Maroons. It's not every single Ashanti was Maroon, but most Maroons were Ashanti. Some Ashantis remained as slaves. Fantis now, I can imagine, I don't know for sure, but I can imagine seeing how the relationship they had with the Europeans, and that they were fluent in English, them kind of thing. Them would have get like house slave, or overseer, the worst. Which Taki was an overseer. And Taki, or Tachi, the correct name, but Taki is what we know him as, but it's Tachi for real. That's a name preferred, is a Akan name, but for them chief, they tend to use the name Tachi a lot, so he's more than likely Fanti. And he was killed by Maroons. But anyway, he was killed by treated Maroons, them under the treaty at this point in time. They weren't under none of them wasn't mad? No. None would never approve of treaties with the white men. But Kodjo on the western Maroons, who was the kind of mixed tribe with Congo, so them signed the treaty thing. Alright. So you had Tachi and Jack Manso. Jack Manso we know as Three Finger Jack. Manso is a Akan name. A lot of people don't know this. You know, I say one thing of him as Gambian, but me look up, that's not a typical Gambian name. Gambian name like Tory and them things. Tory, you know, them kind of names. That's not a typical Gambian name, that's a typical Akan name. And just because he's tall, this does not mean he's not Akan. Which they more so stereotypically tall, but more stereotypically Jamaicans are not as tall as they are. Stereotypically with both the same height as Akan. We look the same, with the round face and them thing too. We have those, you know, little features and things. The wide nose, thinner lips. This don't mean we have really thin lips now, but you know, for other Africans, you know, we have thinner lips. But we more so have the wide nose. Anyways. That dominate in Jamaica and there. But it vary, you know. This don't mean everybody have that one look now. This don't mean that. But I'm just saying, you know, it match. If you look at it yourself, you'll see that. Anyways. So those things, you know, the Free Finger Jack, if you don't know, him was like a Jamaican Robin Hood at the time, first badman at the time, you see that, you know, like that. And Tachi was a chief, a Fanti chief to be correct. I believe a Fanti chief. Strongly believe a Fanti chief. Yeah, so that covered that now. See, yeah, you know, according to Edward Long, who was like a early Jamaican historian and a slave, him was also a slave owner. Him described what him don't know as Cromanti, described them as you know, hot-tempered, you know, proud or bossy or boastful and stubborn and the most aggressive. This personality more fit Jamaicans, and when I check it out, it also fit Ashanti living today. Whereas Fanti now, them more, you know, considered them more cool-headed, you know, them more, you know, you know, and the Ashanti people speak their mind, you know, them, you know, they do that, them tell you what they're on their mind, man. Just like Jamaicans, you know, them are very opinionated. Whereas Fantis now was more the what's the word? More the diplomat. And even the more, well, I'm not gonna say what I know. Alright. So yeah, that fit the Jamaican personality today. The Ashanti personality fit the Jamaican personality. Also, what can be found in Jamaica is the Adinkra. People walk past these things in Jamaica and they don't know what it is. So I'm going to show you some pictures, and the following pictures is the Adinkra in Jamaica. Most of them is in Jamaica and nowhere else. And if you're a Jamaican, if you're a Jamaican, you'll know these things. Alright, so this symbol right here, you see on the girl wall, that is called a fiancre. It symbolizes security within the home, or it symbolizes the home itself. That's why I always see it on a house. Yeah, but see what it look like here fully. But you see the interior part of it, you see what it look like? Also, European steely symbols. This symbol now, our Adinkra, is called Nkoruma Kesi, or the Great Okra. Nkoruma is a localized Chi word for okra. The okra come from the Igbo. So yeah, most Africa, just like, you know, wool of rice, them always been trade these things, they trade these ideas. The wool of far from them, but them know for make wool of rice. Everybody know for make that there in West Africa. So yeah, these little foods them trade with one another. They weren't, you know, You know, they weren't how the white man book them make them primitive and thing like so them never have money and all these things. But yeah, this is us. You know, we weren't at the same time we weren't money hungry or anything like that. But anyways, yeah, straight off topic. Damn, that's that Adinkra. See, there it is in Jamaica, and there it is in Ghana. So the Ghanaian flag. So another variation of it in Jamaica. Alright. Moving on. This is called Nyamija or Nyami's tree. Ja is spelled D-U-A, Nyamija. This is the Adinkra Henny or the Dinkra King. Adinkra King, the Adinkra Henny. There it is. What it looks like on paper. That's what it looks like. With the fancy block, we call it fancy block, them call it molding block. So it's 4 blocks, and it make the it make the pattern, and it look like it's a circle, but really what it is a circle within a circle within a circle. The Adinkra Hini, the king of the Adinkras. This one is called the Obade Santan. I don't know if I said that right. The all-seeing eye Adinkra. Illuminati. The Erade Obatan, or God the Mother, because we Africans don't believe in God the Father, God the Son, or God the Holy Spirit. We don't believe in man making man. That's Batman thing. We don't believe in that. We believe in man, woman, and child. Black woman, black man, black child. That's what we believe in. There it is, close up. And you see it has been Europeanized. There's the European symbol right there. It was corrupted over time. That's the actual symbol. All right. The Mframadan, there it is. There's the Adinkra. The Mframadan is the Jamaican flag, just that inserted with Ashanti colors. Those are Ashanti colors. That's from the Ashanti. This is the royal thing of the Ashanti. I'll show you that later. The Hene draw, or the King's stool. There it is. That's all of them. Yeah, I'm show you the Jamaican flag. Last one. Now that we're on the topic of if you're interested in this topic for this group on Facebook. Alright, so there's a Jamaican flag. And that's the Ashanti flag. Way before you had the Jamaican flag. So the colors, it's the same colors. This is the golden stool, which is very valued by the Ashanti. So so that's their thing, that's them. And that's the logo of this group, the Akofina Asafo. And it was founded 1720 by Nani. Kumapem Apem Beba. That means kill 1,000, 1,000 shall return. That's what it means. That's kind of the logo for that. Alright, so if you feel like add that group. Alright. Now onwards to other tribes that that was imported to Jamaica as if they were slaves by this soulless white man. The modern Patois thing now includes other Jamaican words such as the Fuller. The Fuller gave us to and juk to mean to poke, and nem meaning to eat. The Ewe gave us cho. When you say cho, you're upset and you say cho, I can't bother you, man. So the cho is Ewe. And the Yoruba gave us de to mean to be. Madede, Madea. Yeah, I am here. I am there. And you know the Igbo gave us Unu, Himba, Unu to mean you all, Himba to mean yam, and an English translated version, Big I to mean greedy, translated to English. But however, popular misconception is that Obe is Igbo. Obe is not Igbo. Obe, because the definition is not the same for one. The Igbo definition is doctoring. It may sound the same, but this does not mean it's the exact same. These things are popularized by people like Henry Louis Gates, who propagates that Africans sell Africans. Cause he does parrots white people that writings, by the way. And do the research on it. But doctoring, but Obe means witchcraft in Jamaica. That definition is the same as the Chi definition. Chi is the Akan language. Chi, spelled T-W-I, but it pronounced Chi. That's like, a lot of us in Jamaica especially, it's not we want to do it, but I hear it here, but in Jamaica we don't pronounce T words as, and I noticed that one too, we pronounce it as Ch. Anyway, that's just another thing I know, but yeah, that was past. We're talking about the groups now. It more come from Chi, because the Chi thing is obey. Originally, the British used to say obeism in their earliest writings and on billboards, and when they're talking about notorious, or what them call notorious, like nanny and them associated nanny to obeism. Them accuse them of obeism to mean witchcraft, and then obeism turn obe. Anyway, they started the Chi word. Alright, that's not Igbo. And again, Igbo had a few words. The Igbos now, although they were a majority, this don't mean they're a majority today, because they were noted to be suicidal and things like that, though. Like the women would abort their babies and the men would, perform mass suicide. They would join suicide pacts with fellow Igbos and things like that, because the belief was that when you die, your spirit go back to Igboland, or your spirit go back to whatever African country you come from. It's a universal belief, but for other Africans, like the Congo, have a similar belief. In ancient Egypt, them have a similar belief. When you die, you go back to the spiritual Kemet. When you die, you go to Congo. When you die, you go back to the spiritual, the ancestral Congo land, or the Angola, whatever. The Ashanti, same thing. They have that belief too. But, however, some of these groups frown. Most of these groups, even the Igbo, they frown upon suicide normally in normal circumstances. Just that the Ashanti was more stubborn with that belief. That's all. That's all. That's all. The Igbos, however, was more so driven by emotions and how them feel about the whole thing. They were the most frustrated over it, really. So then that's their way of rebelling. Was, hey, if you're not gonna have me to work your fields anymore, so I'm just gonna kill myself. Who would rather be in that than to be than to be a slave? I'd rather die than be a slave, man. So that's the thinking. Alright, so that explains that. We also had other groups like I said, the Congo and the Yoruba, like I tell you, did what they left. But that's mainly what these groups left. It over everything that I say. But it still stands that the Akan contribution overshadow all that what I just said about the other groups. Alright, so because we have to remember that this was a genocide. Slavery was a genocide. It was a Holocaust that diminished a lot of people. And we Jamaicans now descend from the survivors of that, which mainly was the Akan, mainly Ashanti of that Akan, because our personality fit them the most. out of all of them is, if not exaggerated than theirs, man. Because we descend from, we mostly descend from the warrior class and even the criminal too, who also knew how to handle a gun, by the way. See that gun fascination that's from the Ashanti. And another fascinating fact is that Asante mean because of wars. Them was very war-centered, more than any African. And go back to a Bounty Killer song or something like that. Come on now, that's us. That's not just the Maroons. That's your non-Maroon population. I know people that are not Maroons, and them will tell you that them have Ashanti. Them have a great grandmother that was Ashanti. A lot of our grandfather or whatever. A lot of people can't attest that, not attest, but them can, back me up on that. A lot of people can. So, alright.